And this afternoon, we will talk about a little hot potato. How many boys are in this class, please? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, please. For me, it was very hard to prepare this presentation, and I wanted to use a little technology. You see, we need to be in the wave of technology at the same time. And talking about women in shamanism, I tried to do a little research into the academic level. And I found a very nice anthropologist who, they went to live in Amazon region, in different areas, especially in Peru. And they were doing a very nice comparing the differences between male and female in the area of shamanism. And I was quite, because they say that the woman is not available for shamanist activities. Not in the way that we are not, we are practicing, but in most of the communities, especially in Amazon region, there is a big differences. Woman is not called shaman. Woman always will be a curandera, a herbalist. Yes? Men is the shaman, but they can have the same practice. Yes? We are going to see a presentation in PowerPoint about some differences. And after that, we will have a practice, and after a little forum. How the concept of shamanism can adapt for this century, 21st century, women from the urban areas, like most of us we are, what type of plants we are able to use, why not some plants, why yes other plants, are we ready to use? And there are some movements about the healing plants, the master plants. What's going to happen in the future with this big, beautiful, and enigmatic subject called shamanism, especially women? Because the boys, the male, they already, you have your place. They want the place through the story of the planet. But women know. Women always, especially in our countries, always women is in the etheric area. Living, practicing, helping, drinking the special substances, but always she is a curandera. She is an herbalist. We call yuyeras in our country, yuyeras. Yuyo means herb in the local language. So why these reasons? So we are going to talk about that. And of course, we will have our practices. What type of shamanic activities women practice? How we are going to keep in our daily lives and using different plants. Yes? Are you ready for this trip? Okay, who knows about these strange machines? Because I don't know. Okay. You see, that is the problem when people coming from different areas wants to use technology. And suddenly I discovered, do you have the PowerPoint, the computer? And now I have many electricity. Probably it's other level of shamanic activities, I don't know. Could be in the future, who knows? Okay. Well, I don't want to take more time waiting if this is working, but really, we have many practices that we are going, I'm going to explain. But we will have this afternoon 3 practices, 3 techniques men and women use in our country. Some practice in the highland, in the mountains, in the Andes. Other practices in lowland, in Amazon region, where is the place that I really love so much. Even I born in the Andes mountains. They have many practices using plants. Always combine plants with fire, plants with water, plants with some oils, yes, And depending on the condition of the people, they will have different practices. We have, what day? We have Friday, one of the big practices about bathing. Bathing is one of the areas very important for women. Men never will practice bathing. That is an incredible, remarkable activity only for women. The men, the shaman, when I will say shaman, think that is the men, yes? And when I will say healer or curandera, is the women, yes? Always the men can say, the shaman can say, yes, you can do this bathing, give the number of plants, and after he say, by the way, my wife can prepare for you. So I was spending time with many of the healers and the families, and at the end of the day, always I went to ask to the wife, by the way, what plants are you using there? Why you use these plants? How many different recipes? And I said, can I ask the shaman? He doesn't know. That is my role. And the women feel very proud to be in the role of the assistant. Yes? She knows, but it's the role of the assistant into those societies. So the women always will be in the corner, waiting until he finishes the shamanic processes, like healing, drinking the healing medicine to go into the trip, like ayahuasca. We have different plants depending the region, but the main plant in Amazon region, ayahuasca, and combining with other plants. Never ayahuasca in its own, always combining with other plants, depending on the different types. Only one group use ayahuasca, only ayahuasca, and that is the Guarani group. We will see some slides. So the women will prepare the doses, the way how to combine the plants, and that will be ready for the shaman. The other important activity is that shaman needs to have ready in the garden the plants that he's going to use. Who is in charge of the garden? It's the wife, the daughter, the niece, always a woman. So in this way, women play a very important role keeping the genetic bank of the community in the area of shamanistic activities, which is marvelous. It's fantastic. Sometimes when I'm traveling and learning with all of you in different groups, people talk about, for example, about ayahuasca. And sometimes I say, by the way, did you ask the differences? Because into the shaman groups, into the shaman's families, each shaman has his own ayahuasca. When you visit the garden, he say, this is my plant. And I look to the wife and say, because the wife is in charge, the wife cares the plant, the wife collect and storage in the garden. That is typical for women. So we are visiting and he say, this is my plant. By the way, my grandpa gave me. Or the father of my wife, the great grandfather give to the wife. And so the women receive the plant, but the husband should use the plant. May I explain? So when you want to learn, when you want to study about ayahuasca, yes, of course, you can talk with the shaman, but the wife or the female play an important role to keep alive for generations the plant. So that's marvelous. At the same time, the varieties of ayahuasca differ from different shamans, depending on the evolution in the ancestral knowledge. A good shaman, a very incredible shaman, always will keep different varieties of ayahuasca. And by the way, let me say some story. I went to our center in Amazon region. It is a farm, but it's nice to say center. Because it's not only crops, but forest. the wild area there, living there. And some plants are there because that belongs long time ago for a group, an indigenous group living there. I went for a walk around the cabins, and I went with a very nice friend. He's a taxonomist, he's a forestry engineer. We were walking and walking through the center, and he said, have you seen the amount of ayahuasca that you have in this center? And I say, well, I saw the ayahuasca in these areas, but into the wild, I never ever saw the amount of the big quantity. And I say, I wonder why is that? So we went to ask the people, the property of the land, because another mestizo like us give us the land. We bought the land, a group of researchers at that period. But we never ever walk into those areas thinking that, yes, probably this area was a garden of the healer. So only 2 months ago, I walked, and here a vein of ayahuasca, here another. And because my friends know me very well, he said, I think that you were putting this 20 years ago, knowing that you like to drink ayahuasca with these indigenous people here. I said, yes, we have incredible period, yes, we collect. But for me, it was incredible to see the differences and the varieties of ayahuasca that already we had in the center. That was a gift of the spirits of the forest. We didn't think we want this piece of land because we have this amount of domesticated plants and these magic plants and these wild forests. We think only in the wild forest, in that beautiful trees. Never we pretend to find, and it was magic. We walk here ayahuasca, there ayahuasca, there ayahuasca, and say, this is a forest of ayahuasca. So that is, the reason is because probably that was a healing garden. That was the garden of shamans, of people who use ayahuasca and care and collect the different varieties. The power of the shaman is in the number of different varieties that person can collect. And I promise I'm going to write an article about this because everybody is doing a generalization about ayahuasca. It's like ayahuasca is one and it's a globalization. No way, we are not able to do that. We need to see, we need to learn about different varieties, the characteristics, why these plants, different varieties, how this is moving into the forest, and how will be the future of this plant, which is a healing medicine. But now it's going into the open the boundaries in living. How we are going to manage in the future? Maybe we will lose that fantastic genetic bank that communities have there. Think about that, yes? The other point is that I was doing some research, and some people say that the shamanists and women can be a shaman, appear only when the agrarian process appears. When people work with the land, work with domesticated plants. But for people who live hunter and trekking and walking and nomadic process in Amazon region, they have this level of only for the men, the power of shamanic processes, which could be, I don't know, but I want to leave these little questions for you. In my case, I will say that, yes, from 10 shaman male, we have one, I met with one female, one shaman female. It's very little number. And I went to talk with them, and the shaman, the male always say, when I drink the plant to have the vision, I have people, spirits, they say people, they don't say spirits, but they say people, my friends, coming to me to assist in the process. When I talk with the women say, when I drink ayahuasca, the spirits possess me. Can you see the differences? So for me, that was magic, because we can see the differences. And after that, I put the attention, and during the enchanted process, when the shaman drink the ayahuasca, the sacred beverage is really, immediately they say, she's coming, help me, she's coming. Rocio, can you see? Come on, come here, and calling, and he say, beautiful women coming to help me. He say, they are giving to me fruits, they are giving to me food. And now, this woman, this beautiful woman, this big spirit is going to help me. And when the women drink ayahuasca, always the women say, don't talk with my husband. And I say, why? He say, because I can fall in love with such a spirit. I will be one with that spirit. It's a big difference. And that is the magic of differences. And for me, that is how I can understand the meaning why men has the power. And in some ways, the communities doesn't allow or they don't accept women in the role of shaman. But it's very well, it's accepted, the men. Because this process of, I will say, spirits helping to the men. And I will see that the shaman, is not able to do in his own the process of healing if the man doesn't have this female assistance. The female assistant in the cosmic area. May I explain? But the women doesn't need assistance. The women needs the possession to keep the energy to manage the healing ceremony. So this is how I can see after my research. I don't know if anthropologists will accept that. I don't care, but I have some good data in different communities. This is quite new, and I wanted to share with you. So this is one. But the other that I found is that why men say no for women drink ayahuasca? Give me reasons.
Stay in control.
Power.
Jealousy and women's power.
Jealousy, power, yes. In all the communities, they say when the women has the power, we are scared. Because women is very strong. This is one point. But the other is that the power is coming when women is not fertile. So into the communities, some women have the power. Why? Because they don't have the women pass the menopause process. In that moment, women can obtain the power and go into this incredible power and got the power to heal people, and the community accept that. But women needs to be strong and to be very well accepted into the community. Usually, a phenomenon there, when women from the other tribes are coming into the communities, the community can accept and say, oh, that is an incredible healer. But because it's mature woman, because has the skills to convince into the community and a good healer. But it's very hard. It's a very hard activity. So the young generations, the young women, when I went to talk with girls, let's say 30s, 20s, they say, no, we are not able. Even they know the plants, they manage, and sometimes they are drinking with granny. We sit together and drink for healing ceremonies, for helping into the community, but they say, no, that is only for shaman. If I'm going to talk with a woman, let's say 65, 70, they say, yes, she's learning, she's an incredible, she managed the sacred plants. May I explain these differences that are very important? what is going to happen in our societies? How will be the process? I don't have the answer, but probably you will have the answer for yourself in the middle of these urban societies. Let me say something that I noticed today. Marilena, would you like to say more in high voice there?
That today when we were having lunch, I was sitting with the group of women, we were just kind of talking, all of a sudden said, you know, there's more women than men at these gatherings, and that's also true for my drumming circle. That it seems that the women are the ones that are seeking a different approach and coming to that, not to say anything, you know, negative about the men, but that it is a lot of women that are seeking this, you know, and trying to change.
Yeah, it is a process of socialization. It is a process, it's political, economical, and social. That is the process in the community. Political because the organizations into the community, and I suppose the same in our communities. Social, depending on the role of male and female, depending on your activities, what women is doing, what men is doing, how we can combine that. Who has the power? Like or not like is a matter of power in genders at the same time. The power in the way of learning, the power in the way of keeping contact with other people, with other spirits, is the same. And of course, the economic conditions. 3 levels that we need to manage to understand. Women working in the garden, working in we call chakra. Women working there and knowing and having this incredible genetic bank is a matter of power. The shaman, they are not able to go into the garden if they don't have good relationship with the women. So it's a type of power. It's hiding? Yes. Yes, and it's a type of power. And when the shaman has another woman, if the woman doesn't know very well the uses of the plants, simple. The wife will say, no, I'm so tired, I'm not going to prepare the plants. She knows the doses, she has the power. May I explain? Simple like that. So who knows what's going to happen in the future? Things are changing in Amazon region. A lot of activities, petroleum, tourists, new crops there like soybean, things like that, change this type of roles, change the condition of the uses of different plants. And some plants are coming and going to other countries. People wants to use, people needs to learn, people has curiosity. That's the story of the humanity. Okay. This is one of our friends in the Amazon region in the center. She has the courage to work with us and to show us the way how she drink and prepare the medicine. Please, you can go ahead. This is the summary about our talk this afternoon. Location of the country, cultural explanation about the forest, how is the vision of the forest, how people can see the forest, a concept about shamans, what is the meaning of shaman, healing process and differences between male and female shaman. Yes, please go ahead. Where is Ecuador? So Ecuador, everybody knows Ecuador, I suppose. This is because, no, it's not my land, but it's a tiny country, maybe the same size of Colorado state, but the differences are big. 20,000 different species of plants. How many species in Colorado? No more than, okay, I'm completely, well, let's say almost the same size that the UK. UK has like 1,200 different species, and my country has average 20,000 different species. So it's a magic hot spot around the world. Ecuador has a very tiny size, but 0.17% of the Earth's surface, but the amount of plants there, it's amazing. Yes, please go ahead. 15 different ethnic groups. So it's very rich country in biodiversity and cultural diversity. And 3 groups in the Andes Mountains, 7 in the Amazon, and 5 in the Chocó, in the Pacific region. Please, the next. What is the cosmovision of the forest? Why people need the forest? Why the local people? So the local people build cultural explanation to understand the phenomena and dominate the natural process into the forest. Shamanic practices and the creation of the spiritual being. When you go into the forest, you have a spiritual explanation for the forest. So that is a very nice point. You visit the forest and the people always will give a spiritual name, the uses, and how can create the link with the physical body. People in charge of the spiritual and material health, that is the group of people who work with plants. We have shamans who manage the plants. We have healers who manage other level of plants, healing plants like herbalist. We know about different plants and uses of the plants, and you have your vademecum to check doses, but shaman is the unique person who can drink ayahuasca or other plants to have the trip and to see the condition of the community, or to see the condition of the hunters, or to solve some problems into the community. Who is a shaman? We call Yachak, healer, different names depending on the communities really. Shaman, they are an experts who have agency in promoting and maintaining and restoring the condition into the communities, and maintain the connection of the body in the physical and the souls. Yes, this make us understand the meaning of the real shaman. Always they keep in the mind the connection between the soul and the physical body. And the plants and the forest and the animals, in their vision, they have this connection. They should have, because if not, it's not working in the cosmic level. Yes, please. The shaman, Yachak, Wishik, whatever you want to call, is the person that at the same time connect the community, into the community, the meaning of health. Maintaining the health into the group, the peace, keeps relaxed the community and the nourishment for the local people. Yes, please. So we have a healer, he's a Waorani, helping a woman in the process of healing, using always plants. The next, please. What is healing? What is the meaning of healing? The meaning of healing is to extract, to remove things, material things that can come into our body and impact into the spiritual side. They can see the problem like a darts, like a big darts going into the spiritual side. So the shaman has the quality to suck that negativities and to restore the energy, the health in a person. Please. Here I have some of the wonderful drawings in Eden Project in England. If you visit that area, they have a very, very nice little dome of tropical forest. And I found a very skinny ayahuasca there, dying, very, very lonely. But somebody was doing these beautiful drawings, the visions that the shamans can have during the trip. You can see the connection of the spirit with the plants. I love the women, the roots, and the plants, the connection of the roots with the plants. So now we are going to have some of the practices, because in the name of the time, some of the practices that we have. We will talk about 2 types of practices, in highland and in lowland. I brought some plants, and of course, I don't know, because we are so much. Okay, the first practice we will call Limpia. You already, the people who share time with me, we already have this practice, and now we are going to go more deep. Limpia is a type of medicine, I would say, a healing process that allows people to keep relaxed, remove stress, remove anxiety, and sometimes when people has different conditions, you can use the Limpia just to adjust the person to the real life and to put the spirit in the right position, I will say. This is a very strong ceremony. We practice in different areas, in highland, in lowland, in the coastal region. Usually we are doing with very aromatic plants. These very aromatic plants trigger energy in our body. When you shake the plants, the aroma is going into the limbic system, into the limbic in the brain, yes? And that aroma makes you feel nice, make you feel relaxed. At the same time, the music that the plants make when you are shaking the plants, you can hear that sounds which make you feel relaxed. I was practicing the Limpia with some people close to pass away and really make them feel very relaxed, very good. So I will suggest to keep this practice into the families because that brings peace into the family. Sometimes families get very, yes, so much energy together and make this energy aggressive into the members of the family. Even they love between them so much, but make them sometimes aggressive. So with this ceremony called La Limpia, you can make the family to restore the nice movement of the energy into our bodies. So we are going to practice this. Usually, as I'm saying, we use aromatic plants. Labiate family is one of the plants, the family that really have a big amount of different aromas. You already know the Labiate family. Give me an examples of Labiate family. Yeah, mints. Yes, rosemary, mints, all these beautiful herbs that we use in the food, like spices or teas, they are lovely for the Limpia. At the same time, we can use some roses, depending on the condition, but we are not going to go very deep because we don't have enough time. So let's go to practice La Limpia. One of the suggestions, and I need to say thank you very much to Margie Flint, she let me go into her garden, and I found this, that is one of the top plants doing La Limpia. Somebody was asking me, what happens if we don't have the plants that you use in your country? But some plants are traveler plants, and some plants came from Europe 500 or 400 years ago, and they were adapted to be used in this healing, in shamanistic ceremonies. So Rua is quite coming from Europe, and most of the Labiates, I will say, coming from Europe 400 years ago. So you have a big amount of plants in your gardens, in your market, that you can use in the Limpia. So no excuses. So keep practicing. During winter time, I know that it's very hard, and I know that somebody is going to ask, what happens during winter time? I don't have answer for that, but usually what I'm doing, because I went into this long journey to live in another country, England, which the weather is not exactly sunshine, but we can keep some plants into the fridge. You put in a very nice plastic bag, and you can keep for a very good long period, and you can use them. The other possibility that I was doing, this is only my experience, please, but you can experiment, is you put the plants, you dry the plants in a very nice piece of paper. Dry the plants. After you preserve in your storage area, when you need them, just put in a water for a minute, in warm water. and they will be very soft and ready, and the aroma is coming. So you can use and have benefits doing La Limpia with water and with the fan, and the aroma is very nice. That is only a little experiment that I was doing. So no excuses, you need to keep practicing. So here we have some plants. Another magic plant, let me say. Always, especially with children, we use these two plants. We call Santa Maria, and this is feverfew, yes? Feverfew is quite magic plant in shamanic processes in the Andes Mountains. We are not able to live if we don't have Santa Maria with us. Santa Maria is good for cleaning with the Limpia 2 types of spiritual diseases. Bad eye, evil eyes, bad eye, and the other is susto. Susto means when somebody receives a shock, and the spirit, we believe that the spirit gets little separate of the body. So you walk with your physical body here, but the spirit is like almost there, but it's not like this, yes? So people usually have diarrhea, vomit, depression. Please, I can believe it. In the first word, a lot of depression. And for me, the depression, the name for that condition is susto. You can use rua, you call rua, right? And rue and feverfew, thank you very much, and feverfew, quite a magic plants. So today, please, you will come and choose a tiny quantity of plants and have your own ceremony.